So, as I said I was going to do yesterday in a post I put on the channel, I was going to do a talk about death in the mystical forest religion, Rahasya Mayavanam, and also I would like to I'm gonna start to make more videos about knowledge, because as I said, I have the physical book of Swami Tanji Grimoire, but not everyone does. So I want to make it accessible and free to people, though of course I am not going to do a whole reading of the book. I might put an audio book out. I could try. But we're going to begin talking about death in the mystical forest religion now. So, death in the mystical forest religion. We're going to start actually in this life. In this life, you acquire good and bad karma from just doing everyday tasks, being a good person, not being disruptive, or being a bully per se. You acquire good karma for every good action and bad karma for every bad action. So, if the forest gods deem you so bad that they feel you need extra punishment, you will be sent to the Forgotten Land. So, the Forgotten Land is the only form of hell the mystical forest religion has. However, you don't go there when you die. You can only go there in the life that you have. So, what will happen is, if you are so bad and you've acquired such an amount of bad karma in your life that the forest gods deem you too unholy, you are sent to the Forgotten Land of one of four levels. The first one being the Bake, which is ruled by the Sun God, which is a cornfield, essentially, a hollow cornfield. Well, there's a wall of corn on all four sides, and then there's a clearing in the center where you are essentially baking on blacktop. Essentially, just a lot of rocks. The Sun God is twice as close to you as here on Earth, and you are punished until your bad karma has been depleted. In the second level, the Forgotten Land is ruled by the Moon God. It is the Freeze. It is a mountainous region where you are frozen solid in ice and or put on sticks, similar to crucifixion, without the cross, and you are essentially left to freeze, uh, with little to no clothing, so no covering from the winds that tear through your soul, until your bad karma is depleted. The third level is the shredding arena, which is a coliseum-like structure where there are wild beasts such as lions, bears, snakes, and demons, which of course torment you. And again, your level of bad karma, there are levels to this. If you have so much bad karma, but it's the least amount of bad karma that'll get you sent to the Forgotten Land, you're probably only going to go to the Bake. If you are so bad that you end up going to the last level, which we'll talk about after the shredding arena, then you clearly have a worse amount of bad karma than someone in the Bake. So, like I said, shredding arena, essentially a gladiatorial fight. I don't know if that's the right word. A gladiator, excuse my voice crack. Gladiator fight, essentially, with you and demons. Though it's rare that you would ever win. Um, the fourth and final level reserved for the worst of the worst. We are talking people who are actually, I probably couldn't give an idea because I've never gone to the Forgotten Land, and I don't want to mess it up, so I'm just not going to give an idea of who would go to there. But you are sent there, and it is a cave, essentially. It's a very open cave with an endless pit in the bottom, and you're hanging from the ceiling by your neck with red hot iron chains. And Thalorian the Forsaken himself, the King of Hell, will torment you again until your bad karma is depleted. So let's get back to death now. So assuming that you're not so bad that you get sent to the Forgotten Land during your life. Sorry, I'm gonna mention one more thing. You don't die. Or if you get sent to the Forgotten Land, you're not gonna die and then go there. Like I said, you're gonna go missing. So when someone goes missing, it's not always the case that if someone goes missing, they're going to the Forgotten Land. But there's never been a case where someone dies and then goes to the Forgotten Land. So it's only if you were to go missing, then you're sent to the Forgotten Land and then you're punished, essentially. So, okay, anyway, back to death. When you die in the mystical forest religion, um, aside from the funeral and then aside from everything else that your family does or your loved ones, or the dwellers. We're going to put all that aside, and we're just going to focus directly on you and what happens to your soul and physical body. So a divinely commissioned spirit. This could be a guardian of yours. This could be a just a regular angel that has been commissioned by the gods to essentially come get you, and they will throw you into the God River. This is not painful. You're not going to drown doing this. You will be able to breathe the water. So what will happen is, because it's sacred and holy water, and you're dead, you will first be stripped of material items. So this is jewelry, money, clothes, and okay. So if you have like piercings or tattoos, those will be stripped away. Then next is your body. Your body will be stripped away, leaving you with only your spirit, and then your memories will be erased from your earthly stay, and then you will wash up on the shores of spiritual God Island. This is not to be confused with the physical God Island that is reserved for giving offerings to the gods in this realm. So, you will be you will wash up on the shores of spiritual God Island, and you will be again guided by the divinely commissioned spirit to the throne of the forest god, where he will replay your life, and he will determine, based on your bad karma, determine whether you will become a plant, human, or an animal again. Sorry, not human, dweller again. And yeah, based on your good and bad karma is what you are reincarnated as. So essentially, if you have a more amount of good karma than bad karma, you will probably be reborn as a dweller again. If you have a in-between amount, so you weren't necessarily a bad person, but you messed up, everyone does, you will be reborn as a animal. So not nearly as many luxuries as being a dweller. However, you're not stuck in the ground. And then that leads me to the last one. If you have a bigger amount of bad karma than good karma, you will be reborn as a plant, where you're living, but you don't quite have many luxuries. You're exposed to the elements. You're stuck to the ground, unless of course you're a plant that is in someone's home or something being taken care of. Again, still not very many luxuries. Um, However, if you are enlightened, so if you became enlightened in this life, you'll go through that journey, but the forest god will skip your reincarnation um, cycle, because the main goal of the forest religion is self-enlightenment. In Swami Tanji's grimoire and then the other sacred scriptures, there is a base set of morals and gods and goddesses and beliefs and stuff, and then you not necessarily take out and add things that you want, but you sort of mold it to um, fit what you need. So take for example, someone with uh, gripping problems who wishes to grip a knife and possibly cook or fillet a fish normally, without, of course, having the dangers of not being able to grip the knife. That person might have someone make a mold of their hand so that they can make a custom handle to be able to hold that knife and be able to have it safely. That is sort of what you would do in the forest religion. If something doesn't fit exactly what you want or what you need or you feel you need, you can sort of mold it to be you. So essentially, be yourself, and that will lead you to enlightenment. That might take a few lifetimes. It might take 100 lifetimes. It might take 1,000,000. However, you will get there. You will get there eventually. It's impossible not to. And if you are enlightened, you will be taken. The forest god will have Lord Ashvin come down from his mountain in the middle of spiritual God Island and lead you to the heaven realm, or the realm of the enlightened, where you will be able to live for eternity. You'll be able to travel realms. You'll be able to live in forever puja or prayer, and you can see your loved ones who will get there. It might not. It might take them a few hundred years, but also keep in mind that a million years to you, to the humans realm, that's one day for you in the enlightened realm. So it won't be that long of a wait. It'll happen. It won't be that long of a wait. This uh, I'm trying to think of other things that I have to add. If I missed anything, I will make a post about it and clear things up. But I don't think I missed anything really. I think that I got what I needed to say. I got the teaching out. I didn't do a specific reading from Swami Tanji Grimoire, but that's essentially information from multiple pages of the book added together. So that's death in the mystical forest religion, from all the way from if you are so bad that you're sent to the Forgotten Land to what happens when you become enlightened. So again, I'll be doing more teachings like this, and again, I hope that I didn't miss anything, but if I did, I will post about it and I'll clear things up.